the team to watch is Denver. The Broncos, that secondary, Pat Surtain, like that group.
Denver Broncos are a team to be reckoned with. I think their defense is formidable. I think Bo Nix is that kind of dude.
I am going with the Denver Broncos, Marcus. Here, we're first over the course of the entire season in both EPA per play and success rate.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the most interesting team in the AFC, the Denver Broncos. Here's the thing, I was like reading something, I think it was The Athletic, they were doing win projection, do you buy it, do you sell it, for every team in the AFC West, and they brought up some really fascinating metrics for Denver last year. Like, for example, and we've talked about this a little bit, Javonte Williams led the team with 8 carries per game. Their running backs had one more touchdown at 7 than fumbles at 6. And so now you have RJ Harvey, second-round draft pick, and you also picked up J.K. Dobbins on a 1-year contract from the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, people are going to laugh at me. Broncos fans, you guys might laugh at me as well. The comparison everybody's getting to Sean Payton is Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram style, which... that's the answer. That's what Denver is looking for next year. Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara with JK and RJ. But what it reminded me of for some weird reason is the Detroit Lions picking up in the draft Jahmyr Gibbs and then David Montgomery in free agency. And, you know, my point just is you watch the Denver Broncos, and this isn't rocket science, right? It's not like you guys have never heard this before. It's not like you didn't witness this with your 2 eyes. The Broncos had clear holes heading into the playoffs. Right, they had clear holes for the entire regular season, and it wasn't like these huge, urgent, it's not like Javonte Williams can't run, Jaleel McLaughlin, Estime. It's not like they didn't have runners. They didn't have guys in the running back room that were good and talented. It's not like they didn't have talent in the tight end room. But what we saw with the 3 simple additions of J.K. Dobbins, R.J. Harvey, and Evan Engram is there's finally some pop in the Denver offense. And this is the reason why they'll win 10 games. This is a reason why, in my opinion, the Chiefs are trending downhill. Everyone else in the AFC West is trending uphill, which means, in my opinion, all 4 teams have a very good shot at winning this division and having a home playoff game. But the point is this, we want to see continuous development from Bo Nix, and we want to see, most importantly, a playoff win. Or I guess actually probably Bo Nix's development is more important than a playoff win, but you want both of them, right? But folks, before we get into today's video, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. 3 years into making YouTube videos like 4 times a day, I learned what a pop filter is, so hopefully the audio moving forward is money. But if we could try and get this video to 250 likes, folks, it would mean the absolute world to me. Before we can talk about Bo Nix and the wonderful new offense and improving offense for Denver, we have to talk real quick about the defense, because we like to play this fun game on this channel where I just take a picture of the Broncos defense, and you could sit here and just do a whole video, a whole hour video on this. I mean, their projected defenses: Zach Allen, DJ Jones, JFM, Jonathan Cooper, new addition Dre Greenlaw, Alex Singleton coming back healthy, Nick Bonito, Pat Surtain coming off Depoy, Hufanga new addition, Brandon Jones underrated, Riley Moss improving, and then Jahdae Barron, the rookie. So this defense is crazy. They had one of the league's best defenses last season. It was obvious. Only the Philadelphia Eagles, who won the Super Bowl, gave up fewer yards per play and posted a lower EPA per play. The Broncos generated pressure on 40% of their dropbacks, which was the second best in the NFL. And like we said a minute ago, you have the Depoy in Pat, and he's a defensive back, which is just crazy. And even though they have the league's best cornerback in the NFL, in the first round, they double down and they go out there and they get Jahdae Barron. Now, we're talking mainly about the offense in today's video because it was clear, first off, Bo Nix had a very good offensive line, all right? Top-rated pass blocking unit. They had an 84 PFF grade, which was very good. But like we said a few minutes ago, there just wasn't enough firepower. There wasn't enough pop there. So the Broncos finished 2024 with the 5th lowest PFF grades in both receiving and rushing. Now, the additions that we talked about, Evan Engram, this was in free agency at this point in time. It's July 7th. Oh my goodness, I have to send a text for somebody's birthday. But anyways, that threw me off a little bit. Bo Nix was so good last year, especially when you put into context who he had around him. And if we look back months ago, if you guys been watching this channel all summer, Evan Engram was one of my favorite free agent acquisitions as far as the context of the fit goes in the entire NFL. In his 3 seasons with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Evan Engram ranked 4th amongst tight ends in yards after the catch at over 1,100, which is crazy as well because he appeared in only 9 games last season due to a torn labrum. So if he comes back and he's healthy, he does his thing, he's anywhere between 700 to 1,000 yard plus receiving tight end for Denver next season. Well, that's going to make Bo Nix's job that much easier. Now, J.K. Dobbins. This is something we haven't even talked about in this video because I think my last Broncos video, the timing just didn't work out there. J.K.'s coming off a really good season. He did miss a little bit at the end ever since he's gotten picked up. So he had 905 rushing yards in 13 games for the Chargers last season. A lot of that was front-loaded. We know he's dealt with injuries. It was a remarkable recovery or comeback, I should say, last season from all the gruesome injuries he's had in the NFL. Here's the thing with J.K. Dobbins. You just got to keep him healthy, and I'm very, very big on RJ Harvey, but even if you're not, feeling like all that huge on J.K. Dobbins staying healthy, like I said, he did get banged up at the end of the year. He's, for some reason, gotten a lot of flack for that playoff loss because the Chargers were not able to run the football. To be honest with you, Houston had a really good defensive game. They had a really good game plan going into it. There wasn't much going for the Chargers in general. I wouldn't expect anything crazy from J.K. Dobbins, but if he gives you over 900 rushing yards this upcoming season and he plays over 13 games, I think most people would take that as a huge success. But the big player to watch is going to be, UCF running back RJ Harvey coming in the second round. He had a 94 PFF rushing grade since 2023, which was top 10 in all of college football. He also had just shy under 3,000 yards at 2,995 rushing yards, good for 4th in that 2-year span. He also averaged a crazy 6.5 yards per carry. He had back-to-back 1,400-yard rushing seasons, and I'm feeling great about this running back duo of RJ Harvey, J.K. Dobbins, and everybody else they have behind these guys. And then to finish this video off, I wanted to talk about a wide receiver. Troy Franklin's been getting a lot of hype. You guys also drafted rookie Pat Bryant, picked up Trent Sherfield, still have Cortland Sutton, Devon Vele. Marvin Mims, real quick. The dude was a stud in returning. He was an all-pro returner right out of the gate. But here's the thing. We really saw a breakout from Marvin at the end of last season. From weeks 13 to 18, 2023 second-round draft pick had 23 catches for 431 yards and 5 total touchdowns over the final 5 games. So this running back room is deep. The tight end room is deep. The wide receiver room's deep. The offensive line's good. I feel good in the offensive coordinator, the offensive head coach, and the play calling. So that defense kind of feels like Denver is going to field the top 10 defense and now a top 10 offense this upcoming season. The sky's truly the limit for second-year quarterback in Bo Nix. But, folks, that's all we got for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, and we will see you soon. Peace.